Chelsea fans, UCL is on. It goes down to the final game of the season. Chelsea 1, Manchester United 0. Was that game pretty? No. Did we play well enough? No. The second half of the second half, yes, we played well enough. Did United have more of the ball? Yes. Did United have more of the dangerous chances? Yes. Were we let off with that Harry Maguire goal that was offside by VAR? Yes. Do we care? No. We do not care, because 3 points is 3 points. Aston Villa beat Spurs this evening. Just before, while we were playing, the game ended. We knew the pressure was on. We were playing poorly. That first half was abysmal. We did not look like we wanted to play. We looked like a very unorganised team, an unfocused team, a team that didn't want to qualify for the Champions League. And how many times have I said this here on this channel this season, of our poor first half performances? Now, I think Maresca took a big risk, some due to injury. Granted, we can't help that. But looking at our bench today, we had no game changers, no winners. No winners. It was very defensive. 2 goalkeepers, 5 defensive players, right? And yes, Lavia, you could say, allows us to become more creative further forward because of the way he fits into the system. And he played very well when he came on. I'm not disputing that. But UCL was going to the last game of the season. We are still within it. And if we get it by a Rizzler paper, I don't care. Because UCL was on, we get the 3 points. Now, that game had draw written all over it, but we have to talk about the players that were amazing today. In my opinion, Caicedo, man of the match. Well deserved. He plays like that every single week. The first 5-10 minutes of the game, he looked very shaky, but we all did. But he settled into the game and was fantastic. My personal man of the match would have been Marc Cucurella. I thought he was fantastic today. Defensively, going forward, finding himself in those positions in midfield, transitioning into that 10 role, which he keeps finding himself in, which is where he scored from again today. Chelsea's top goal scorer of 2025, by the way, which is wild. And we'll talk about the goal in just a second, but he was fantastic today. In my opinion, it was Caicedo and Cucurella, and I'm only giving it to Cucurella because the goal kind of nips it over the top for me. And that's me personally. Let me know your man of the match down below in the comments. But my God, it feels good, right? It feels good to play terribly and scrape a result and take it to the last game of the season when we go away to Nottingham Forest. Now, I'll tell you what, if these boys are not up for it from the whistle, from the first whistle, from the first kick of the game, if these are not up for it in that Forest game, I feel like we'll get eaten alive, because Forest have not been playing well in recent weeks. Their form's been all over the place, and they want to take points off us. It's their last home game of the season. This was our last home game of the season. The crowd were really good. The atmosphere was amazing. It genuinely was, from what we could hear. They booed Mason Mount. He had a very poor game today, and it was beautiful to see that little rat got taken off, and he had a poor game, and he was booed unanimously across the pitch, across the stadium. It was chef's kiss. Now look, is it Maresca's fault? Is it the players' fault? Is it a mixture of the two as to why we can't start a game very well? Sanchez was just giving the ball away, giving the ball away, giving the ball away. Same old story, week after week, game after game. However, he made some fantastic saves and collected some crosses, which, if he didn't, could have gone horribly wrong. I feel like Tyreek George went missing in that first half. We couldn't get the ball into him. He had this weird sort of challenge with Harry Maguire, which was given, which made no sense to me as a foul. But hey, I feel sorry for George. He was kind of like a scapegoat today. If we weren't going to give him the service, he was going to go missing. He's not a big physical number 9. He's playing a role. He's doing a job. And he has played well there when he's played in that role, right? But today, he went missing. And that's not on him. There's no pressure on him at all. Well, there was a lot of pressure on him to perform. But from my side, I don't take that as a negative performance at all. I think he did his best. He's a youngster coming through. It is what it is. I thought Neto was fantastic. I thought Noni Madueke was fantastic in terms of creating chances. Were their decision-making not the best? Of course. We know this of them. They're frustrating to watch, but their overall performance was very, very good in my opinion. Always looking to beat a man, always trying to create something. The frustrating thing about it is we cross and cross and cross and cross to no one. However, the goal comes from a cross, and Reece James was fantastic today. He felt awkwardly in the first half, where he twisted his ankle as he landed, and I thought, that's game over, that's curtains. Reece is going. We're probably going to bring on Lavia, drop Caicedo to right back in the second half, and play that weird system where Caicedo inverts and then Enzo goes forward a bit more. But he got up, played a bit gingerly, carried on, saw the game out, and he was fantastic. And how lucky are we that he did? Because that assist, That build-up play, we looked like we were just pinging the ball along, pinging a ping, creating the chance, goes over to the right. Neto does well to keep it, doesn't beat his man, passes it back to James. That little spin, it weren't quite like a Maradona or a pirouette, but that spin just sent Garnacho the other way. Bye, see ya, I'll send you a postcard. Little chipped ball in across the box. Cucurella, one of the shortest men on the pitch, leaps like a salmon, bosh, heads it across goal, past Onana, 1-0, absolute limbs, because the goal come from nowhere. We did not look like scoring today whatsoever, but we did. And then the best bit about it is we saw the game out. We saw the game out, and I wasn't even that nervous, because even though Manchester United try and pushing on, trying to apply the pressure, we just dealt with it. We dealt with it. It was not the prettiest performance today, but it was one of the best in terms of getting a goal and getting the result, getting the game over the line when we needed it the most. The amount of chances we have had this season where the door has been open for top four, and us as a team have shut the door, locked it, and threw away the key and went, yeah, don't worry about it, is unbelievable. It's uncountable. It's unfathomable. Well, you probably could count it, but you get my point. Today was a prime example of going out, playing poor, but getting the job done because it means more. Doing anything to get the result. That is what we've been missing, that grit, that passion, that determination. We've seen it a few times this season. And tonight we needed it because honestly, United were the better team for large spells of this game. Like I said, that second half we come alive a little bit. The second half of the second half we really kicked on. After that first goal went in, we really come alive and Palmer was starting to ping balls across and Mabueke was having more fun down that left. Neto was having more fun down that right. Lavia then came on, solidified that midfield for me. He is such an integral player to Chelsea's season. If he can stay fit for 3/4 of a season, I can't tell you where we're going to finish and what trophies we'll win because he's unreal, man. What a player. I think Levi Colwill had a very good game today. He was good in the air. He's very vocal. Don't know this weird thing that was happening with Højlund where he was trying to take his shirt off. Bit sus if you ask me, but hey, I think Colwill performed pretty well. I think Tosin did a good job. I think the back line did a good job. I don't think that we were absolutely abysmal in terms of we looked like we were going to lose 3 or 4-0. We just looked like we lacked intensity. We had to play 400 passes. We had to release the ball very slowly before we did anything. And that was the worrying thing because we were just letting United have the ball. We were giving the ball away easily, letting them have the ball and trying to soak the pressure up. We were at home. We needed the win. United have nothing to play for in the Prem. It didn't look like we were playing someone 16th, 17th in the league. We looked like we were 16th, 17th in the league, and especially in that first half. It was woeful. But, like I said, we got it over the line in the second half. We got it over the line in the second half. You had players like Cucurella, Caicedo, Mabueke. I think Palmer had a relatively decent game. Created that chance very early for Mabueke, which on any other day he puts away, and that would have been an unreal goal because that was a very unique chance. We weren't creating nowhere near enough, but that was early on. And then in the second half, after we went 1-0 up, had another chance for Mabueke where I think he hit the side netting or went over and bounced back, which he should be finishing. But hey, it doesn't matter because we got the 3 points and we now go to Nottingham Forest on the final day of the season. This is absolute cinema. Absolute cinema. The last game of the season at Forest to secure UCL football. We can sit back and watch the rest of the football this weekend and just enjoy it because we went out and got the job done. Even when Villa beat Spurs tonight and put the pressure on, even more pressure on this game, these young players went out there and got the job done. I'm so proud of them for doing it. It was not the prettiest of results. Not saying that. We were shocking for big spells of that game. But this is a showcase as to why United are where they are in the Premier League because it doesn't matter how bad we were, they couldn't capitalise either. Now, we were very unlucky to not get a penalty. After the review, yeah, there was no contact there on Onana and Tyreek George, but in real time, I tell you what, looked like one. I think the ref, I don't like to talk about refs too much because we know how inconsistent they are in the English Premier League, or in Europe to be fair, but you seem to be just giving every silly little foul to United in the first half, first 50, 60 minutes, and then all of a sudden he kind of went, oh, actually, this is a game of two halves, and these are two different teams playing, and he kind of just switched up. And we started getting a bit more from the ref, which was just nice to see because United has got into this rhythm of just falling down, holding their face and winning free kicks when they just weren't fouls. And there was a challenge or a dive from, I think it was Ahmad on the right-hand side in that second half where the ref waved away immediately. And I was like, I'm glad you did that. And it wasn't this whole fiasco of blowing it, going to VAR, wasting even more time because 7 minutes of injury time in the second half was wild. 5 minutes of injury time in the first half. That's just crazy numbers. It's extra minutes for no reason. And I get it. Substitutes, build up, VAR checks, it adds up. But look, at the end of the day, Chelsea get the 3 points in a fixture that we typically or have drawn the most. I think it's just in the Premier League era, but it's the most drawn fixture of us. We always draw, right? It's very rare. If we lose, we usually lose by 1 goal. If we win, we usually win by 1 goal. And that's exactly what happened today. This was not a classic in terms of last season with the Palmer hat-trick to overturn, that 2-1 to a 3. The 3-2 to a 4-3. Whatever it was, it's not that classic. But this season, it will be remembered as the game that kicked us on, where we played poorly, got the result, kicked on to the last game, and that will be cinema. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm nervous, I'm anxious, but I know that if we can go out and perform like we did today and still get the 3 points, that we can definitely do it away at Forest. And we typically seem to play better away. Results haven't gone our way away from home, admittedly, but we typically during the 90, we typically play better when we're away. But hey, we take it. A win is a win. Up the Chelsea. UCL is still on. Now that is my post-match analysis. Do you agree or disagree? Did you watch the game live or did you just watch the highlights? I would love to know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. I want to say thank you for all the love and support on this channel. We have grown so quickly. The community is incredible here and on TikTok. You guys are amazing and I love the watch longs with you guys. If you have watched this video all the way to the end, firstly, you're a real one, and honestly, you are a real one. But secondly, there'll be a thumbnail that appears on the screen. So if you are a Chelsea fan who enjoys Chelsea content, make sure you click that thumbnail because you'll enjoy that video too. Up the Chelsea, UCL is still on.